Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, it's a little difficult to figure out the exact timeline of the Walking Dead shows. You know, with The Walking Dead, with Fear the Walking Dead, how many years into the apocalypse is season 4 of The Walking Dead? How many years into the apocalypse is season 10? How many, blah blah blah, how many years right now? I think right now with The Walking Dead season 10, like with that timeline, how many years into the apocalypse it takes place, I think it's about 9 or 10, because I know that the first 7, 8 seasons it wasn't any more than 2.5 years. Now, the whole thing with Carl's actor going from being like 10 years old to 19 years old, they just kind of ignored that. They've gone out of their way to pretty much make the first 8 seasons just 2.5 years. That's just 2.5 years into the apocalypse. And then with season 9, there's like an 18-month time jump. And then after Rick gets taken away by the helicopter, there's a 6-year time jump. So if you add all that up, plus season 10, there was a time jump between seasons 9 and 10. There was like a few months of a time jump. Rosita went from being pregnant to having this 7-month-old baby. So we're probably, like I said, 9, 10 years into the apocalypse at this point, at this current point in The Walking Dead. And with Fear the Walking Dead is currently behind The Walking Dead because there's been no 5, 6 year, no crazy time jumps. It might be catching up with The Walking Dead eventually, but right now it's behind The Walking Dead. We don't know if Morgan's alive during like seasons 9 and 10 of The Walking Dead after that huge time jump. Morgan survived after All Out War, and then he went to Fear the Walking Dead. And I think right now it's been like a year since, in Fear the Walking Dead, it's been like a year since Morgan left The Walking Dead as far as the timeline goes. So, I don't know. And then there is the new spin-off series, The Walking Dead World Beyond. And my interpretation of it, based on the trailer, was that it was like, 15, 20 years, maybe even more years into the apocalypse. I thought it would be further into the apocalypse than The Walking Dead. The timeline would be ahead of The Walking Dead, because in the trailers, we see this super gigantic, super safe community of people where it seems like people are just living like there's no apocalypse, there's no walkers. And then there's all these main characters who are teenagers. They're like 17, 18 years old. I don't know their exact age, but like 17, 18. And the premise of the show is that they venture off and just explore the world because they don't know anything about the world. They don't know anything about walkers. They've been sheltered that much that they don't even know what walkers look like. So I figured they would have been like babies or something, like they don't even remember walkers. So it had to have been they had to have been sheltered for like 15 years or something. They don't even know what they look like. They don't know anything. So I figured The Walking Dead World Beyond took place after The Walking Dead. It was more years into the apocalypse where this community has figured out how to be super safe, and the characters are mad because they're too sheltered and they don't even know what things look like. But apparently this isn't the case. Apparently, The Walking Dead World Beyond actually takes place a little bit before The Walking Dead. So it's probably less than 9 or 10 years into the apocalypse. The first season of World Beyond, it's going to be like less than 9 or 10 years, maybe 8 or 9 years into the apocalypse, maybe less than that. I don't know. But it's supposed to be behind The Walking Dead. It's supposed to be before the events of The Walking Dead Season 10. So that means that these teenage characters, I mean, some of them, wouldn't they have been like 6, 7 years old when the apocalypse first started? Wouldn't that mean that they'd be old enough to remember what the walkers looked like? They'd basically be like Carl, maybe a little bit younger when the apocalypse started. So I'm still a little sketchy on that part. I'm still trying to understand how that works. But Scott Gimple confirmed this in an interview. He had this interview. It was this several days long interview, and they released it by parts. There was like part 1, part 2, and it's a really long interview. And he's asked a bunch of questions, and he answers a bunch of questions. I'm not going to read all of it because it would probably take like hours to do so. Plus, he doesn't reveal a whole lot. He really doesn't give us a whole lot of new information. It's really just a lot of wordplay, like, oh, this will be different from anything else. This will be better. This will be better. We're going into this new thing, this new story, new. It's really just a bunch of wordplay. He doesn't actually reveal anything. He doesn't really reveal anything about The Walking Dead Season 10, nothing that we don't already know. He doesn't reveal anything about Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 or anything like that. But one thing he does say is that The Walking Dead World Beyond takes place before where we're currently on in The Walking Dead Season 10. When he's asked about the timeline, I'll read what he says, but he's asked about World Beyond's timeline, and he says, it's very, very close to being simultaneous, but a little bit back, yes. Not in any way that anyone will possibly notice. So it's just a little bit behind The Walking Dead, basically. So, like I said, I feel like that would put, like, the teenage characters, that would put them at 6 or 7 years old by the time the apocalypse started. So I'm not sure I understand why they don't know anything about walkers. I mean, unless they were literally, like, right when the apocalypse started, they were already put in a safe place or something. I don't know. Maybe that explains it. I don't know. I figured that this super safe place that we see in the previews of World Beyond, it's this place that they had to like build, they had to develop it and fight for it. It wasn't there at the very beginning. They had to figure it out. You know, they had to figure out how to get the old world back. You know, like the old world went away because the apocalypse started, and this community, it makes it seem like, you know, they've rebuilt everything and you know, life is moving on, and it's this new world, and it's this safe place, and people can live like they lived before. But that was something that they would have had to have fought for, that they would have had to have built, and it would have taken years. So I don't understand why these main characters don't know anything about walkers. It just doesn't add up. So maybe there's just something I'm not getting, something is flying over my head. There's just something that's missing, or maybe it'll be explained once we actually watch the show why these teenagers act like they don't know anything about the apocalypse or walkers, because that just, yeah, it doesn't really add up anymore. I mean, yeah, it seems like they'd be old enough to remember, so I don't know. That's why I thought that it was going to be years after The Walking Dead, not before The Walking Dead, so I don't know. We'll have to see. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 738 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 800 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts. Every bit of support matters and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 800. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.